What's going on, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Got a special episode today. Shorter episode, but a special episode nonetheless. I got Brett and Roxy today. And we're going to have a lot to talk about. Aquaman, it is not tracking to do well. It is the big December movie, and it is tracking to do less than The Flash. Not good news if you're Warner Brothers. Probably expected, though, at this point. There's other movies coming out. There's other things coming out on streaming. You got Percy Jackson, which is getting rave reviews. They released it a little early. And then Rebel Moon, not getting great reviews, but a confusing thing. He said that Zack Snyder said, well, this isn't the actual cut. And I think we've been down here before. And he said that the longer cut is a very different movie. Well, why would Netflix release this one? It's Netflix. So I don't understand that. And we are excited because we had a really good 2023. We're excited for 2024, and we're excited that you guys have joined us. So if you're brand new to the channel, subscribe. Make sure you do that. And we're going to try to get to 200,000. And if we can do it faster than we got to 100, it'd be because of you guys. So thank you. Thank you kindly. I got Roxy Stryer. I got Brett Sheridan, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere podcasts are found. It is the big thing. Let's do it. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the big thing. Wednesday, 2023, almost gone. Kristian Harloff here. Roxy Stryer. Brett Sheridan. All of us. What's those faces for?
Well, my face was because I think Roxy was sitting higher when...
Yeah, I know. What the hell? I was thinking that. Like,
yeah.
I never have had...
I'll go adjust.
And why am I such an Oompa Loompa?
Don't do anything, Brett.
I swear I'm not an Oompa Loompa in person. It's like I got some fucking orange cake on my face, but I don't know what to say to you guys. Also, nobody said anything to me, and I fucking dyed my hair, and you guys never noticed.
Roxy, I was going to wait. I was waiting for...
You were not,
I was
Kristian.
waiting for the recording to happen.
weren't.
Well, watch this. Roxy, you changed your hair.
I did. What did I do to it, Kristian?
You made it stuff.
Low lights.
You made it stuff.
Highlights and low lights.
Let me ask you a question.
I have another one for you, too, so let's
go
go.
ahead.
Let's exchange
Go ahead.
questions.
Oh,
You
I
go,
know what
you
it
go,
is.
I go, you go.
Go ahead, Billy.
Oh, her lovely, looks very comfy sweater is throwing the white balance off, I think.
Oh, is that what it
on
is?
the wide.
I'm so orange.
It's your own fault.
My tongue looks red. No, it doesn't.
No. Would you ever consider going brunette again?
Yeah, definitely. I can't
You
wait.
should.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
I think you should.
I just book way more as a blonde, but once I don't have to do, I like being
How do you
blonde.
know? Maybe you change it up again. That's what
Because of the stuff that I go out for right now.
Right
like
now?
it's all like not edgy, brown hair, ethnic, like gothy, all of that. Blonde hair, like
Don't
bitchy
care.
girl, bitchy bitch.
Bitchy bitch.
Bitch.
Bitchy bitch.
Yeah, I
That's-
pretty much
is that in
only
the
go out
breakdowns?
for like
Oh, okay.
evil bitch.
Fair enough. What's your
Bitchy and
questions?
George type. I don't like the perfume I'm wearing today. Are you guys drowning?
No.
Oh.
That's your question?
Yeah, because
Oh,
I
wonderful.
usually wear something else, and this one's really strong, and I didn't want you guys to think that I was in it, and then you guys weren't liking it.
I have a very sensitive nose to these things, and I barely smell
so-
anything.
Really? Okay. That's good to know.
You're okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we got stuff to talk about, guys. The first one, of course, being Aquaman. Yeah, Aquaman is not it's not tracking well, and I'm going to see it as we talk here today. I'm actually going to be seeing it at 2 p.m.
There's nothing I can do to get on this.
No,
invite.
there is, and I have more information that I found out yesterday. But so not about you in general, but I think questions that can be answered. So let's get to the first topic here, and that is, of course, Aquaman. And this is just not only it's about Aquaman tracking, but right now there's two stories. The first story is that it is going to be the top box office winner this weekend.
No crap.
Right. And Dark Horizon says, while there's no real Spider-Man Avatar-sized juggernaut for the Christmas holiday this year, a quite large number of wide releases are out there and will be vying for audience attention this coming weekend. There are 4 new wide releases, as many, again, in limited release, will opening this coming Friday, December 22nd. A few days later, on Christmas Day on Monday, 3 more new wide releases will join them. The 7 wide openers over the break will be competing with the still quite hot Wonka, which debuted to $39 million and is expected to have staying power. In addition, American Fiction will expand to a wide release following a successful limited run this past weekend. All other releases currently in cinemas, however, from the Hunger Games prequel to Trolls, are likely to get swept aside by the new waves of content, partly explaining why they made the jump to PVOD this week. Of the newcomers, Aquaman and Lost Kingdom, that's likely to come out on top, with the superhero sequel projections on track to do around $40 million domestically and double that again internationally over the 4-day Christmas weekend. Wonka is likely to come in second, while its second weekend 4-day tracking to be in just the over 20 million range. Universal and Illumination's animated film Migration is likely to come in third, around 15 million. And then you get the Anything But You is looking to land in fourth, around 7, and then the Iron Claw targeting fifth, 6 million. The 3-day Christmas wide openers are still too early to call, but early projections suggest that the musical take on The Color Purple is looking hot and could well take in 8 to 10 million on Christmas Day alone. All right, and the other thing I want to do here is I want to bring up this Aquaman tracking and what it is tracking in general, and it's tracking. It looks like around 35 million. They said 40, Roxy, but I don't know. This is what it says. This is Superhero Hype. Aquaman and Lost Kingdom opening Christmas weekend box office is expected to gross less money than the Marvel's first weekend. Per Deadline, the latest DCEU installment starring Jason Momoa as Aquaman is tracking for 40 million North America plus debut on its 4-day Christmas weekend and another 75 to 80 international. Should the domestic tracking hold, that's 6 million less than the Marvels, which disappointed at 46 million in its 3-day opening. And it went on to run as the lowest MCU film. The low tracking figures for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom contrast with the original movie's 67.9 debut 5 years ago, resulting in a 335.1 million. And since the original Aquaman came out, the other ones that have other DCEU movies, Black Adam, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, The Flash, Blue Beetle, all have underperformed due to mediocre reception from critics and audiences. Additionally, the announcement of a retooled DC film slate with James Gunn and Peter Safran has created the perception by audiences that the remaining DCEU releases are nothing more than creative dead ends. Okay, so tons here.
Yeah.
All right, Roxy, so this is... I think at this point people have been preparing for this because it's the reshoots, as they mentioned, the DCU now coming out, and the last few movies have just not done well at all. That the Marvels actually, I think, was also an indication that just because you made $1 billion once doesn't mean you're going to do it again, and these trailers just haven't been anticipated. So tracking at 35 to 40. Some people will make the argument, well, the first one did 67 as opening weekend and still wound up making $1 billion. I don't think that's the case. I think it's over for the DCEU, and it's a final nail in the coffin. What say you?
I think it's going to actually do better than it's tracking. I haven't seen this movie. I don't know if this movie is any good. I liked the first one. It was fun. I think that it kind of stands for itself, and I think people were looking for that from the DC at that time. Obviously, I don't think this is going to be a $1 billion movie. I didn't think the first Aquaman was going to be a $1 billion movie, so I was wrong about that. But I do think that this is probably going to do okay.
You think it's going to make a profit?
I do think it's going to make a profit. I think for the first time in a while, there's a couple things working against it right now. Number one, of course, the Amber Heard of it all. That was something that we haven't mentioned that I know a lot of people are not seeing it, not supporting her about it. Number two, of course, the DC not moving forward with Aquaman or with Momoa or with any of these actors as they're completely wiping the slate, or so we believe. So James Gunn is talking about right now. So people don't really want to be invested in it. Number three, it's been 4 years since the first Aquaman came out. I remember I did the junket for the first Aquaman. I genuinely think that was in 2018. It could have been 2019, but it's been
in that area.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Like it was December, so maybe it was 2019. It's been, and I think 4 years. That's a long time.
It was I think it was 2018.
So 5 years?
Yeah, because it was
Let's look.
during Collider Live era. Because I wasn't there in 2019. I remember.
Yeah, it was
you doing that.
2018. So
Yeah.
5 years between these two movies. This is a long time to put out a sequel.
Yeah.
So I think that it does have some things working against it. That being said, Jason Momoa is just so unbelievably charismatic. People really like him. He has been working the press circuit for this. And I think that it does have a chance to do okay and turn a profit. If I was a betting woman, I would say that it did, but not anywhere close to $1 billion.
I love you to death. There's no chance this movie makes a profit.
Okay. Let's see.
There's no way. Because
You don't want to see?
We'll see, but there's no way. And
I don't think that you're wrong for saying that. I'm not like I would swear by it, but I think that it might.
okay, the reason why is because the other thing is that what they don't take into consideration here is the amount of reshoots. Now, normally reshoots it happens all the time.
I guess what is the budget of the movie, including the reshoots?
Rumored anywhere between 250 to 300. Rumored.
So you don't think that this will make 600?
It's more than 600 because it's got to make the 300. It's got to make the 300 back, right? For let's say that's cost 300 to make, and then let's say 200 in marketing, which is close to 500 plus theater costs and everything. A lot of the theaters get a lot of the money too. So you got to make between 650 and 7, probably close to it. So in that area. So do I think it's going to make 600 to 700 worldwide? Nah. It's not.
You think it's going to do less than 500?
I think it'll just around between 400 to 500 maybe. Yeah, if that. And depending on, I just don't think there's any buzz on this movie whatsoever. And
I guess we'll know better after you see it. If it's gangbusters,
if it's a good movie, but look at Blue Beetle, right? Now, Blue Beetle, granted, doesn't have the star power of, say, Jason Momoa.
Also came out during a strike, had no backing.
Absolutely. But it had a much lesser budget and less to try to get to, right? And it was a quality movie. The family stuff was awesome. It was a quality movie and had good reviews. I didn't do anything for it. And I also think that what this is going to prove is people who say, one of the main things people are saying, like how much money the Marvels would have made up if the 3 stars would have been able to market. That much more than the money that it lost, like that much more. And I think Aquaman's going to prove that, where if you do lose money and you did have your star promoting it, you're only going to, how much more would they have lost if he didn't promote it?
I don't think it's a fair comparison to compare the Marvels to Aquaman because, first off,
the movie itself? No, of course not. But I'm talking about the promotion of it. I'm talking about any movie that gets promoted.
Everybody who's saying because the Marvels didn't do well and then they're comparing it to Aquaman 2, I don't think it's apples to apples comparison. Apples to oranges?
You're right. You're
apples.
almost there.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
The reason why is, number one, people, I don't know what it is, but people do not like Brie Larson. I do like Brie Larson, but people don't like her. So I don't know that her promoting the movie would have helped the movie that much, considering people seem to just not like her. People love Momoa.
Yeah, I think there's also chemistry with the 3, because I think that I found her to be pretty good in this movie, more so than the first movie. And I just think that the 3 of them was what you should be marking the movie off of, because that's really what the movie is. It's like their chemistry sells the film in general. So it did hurt. It just didn't. But people don't. I see it all the time. Like, well, if they would have promoted it, then it would have made a lot more money. The movie lost almost $200 million. So
but we also didn't love the movie.
Granted, but I'm just saying that doesn't matter though. Like even like
it does matter. I think.
Blue Beetle, right? Blue Beetle is another one where Sholo was not able to promote the movie. He's very charismatic. He knows how to market. Even if he would have added $10-20 million more, it still would have lost money. Same thing.
The comparison you're making is ridiculous right now.
I don't know what you mean. That's a silly thing to say.
No, just because I hosted DC Movie News for 7 years.
Yeah.
I still don't know that guy's name.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm talking about, so when you say something like that, it's what I'm saying is an actor in general. Let's take Blue Beetle out of it. Take the Marvels out of it. Take any movie that was going on during the strike that the talent was not able to promote it, right?
But they're different.
Of course they're different.
The promotion only works to a certain extent. I agree with you.
It's important.
It is important, but I agree with you. But I do think that extent has a completely different ceiling with somebody like a Momoa.
Of course, when you have, I don't think we're saying the same things.
Okay.
So where Momoa is, every one of them should be promoting the movie. And does it help? Of course it helps. I'm just saying that in general, when people are saying, had X promoted X, then it would have done so much better. Like when it's if you let's say that the Marvels had lost $2 million or just broke even, and people are like, oh, if they would have promoted, they could have made a little bit more money. Definitely. But when you lose $200 million, when you say, like, even like this movie, this Aquaman movie that's coming out with Momoa, if he's out there promoting, does it help? Of course it helps. But if it loses $100 million, right? How much did it really? It probably helped a little bit more that he didn't lose $150 million. You know what I'm saying? Like
I do know what you're saying.
Each thing helps just a little bit more. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that each movie, like depending on the star, I agree with you. Star power definitely helps, and each circumstance is different. But I'm just saying that when people say, "Well, it would have made so much more money," you don't know that. You just don't know.
I completely agree. The way I started was just by saying I don't think it's an apples to apples comparison.
Of course, but I didn't say it was, so I didn't know where that was coming from.
Oh, everybody keeps comparing Aquaman to the Marvels. Have you not been seeing that?
No.
Oh, everyone, right?
Get your fucking head out of your
Who's
ass.
everyone?
Every website. Okay. Yeah, all the websites are saying like, well, this is what the Marvels is tracking at. It's a sequel, so I understand.
Sure.
It's a comic book movie, so I understand the time period it came out.
And it's
so
the most recent
understand.
one, right?
Most recent one, but I do think that there's a lot of factors that contribute. Number one, how good is your movie? You and I didn't particularly like that movie. I think we both liked the Aquaman movie, the first one, significantly better. Who is the star that is promoting it? What does the press tour look like? So I do think the only point that I'm making is that I think Aquaman has a significantly better shot of doing well than the Marvels did.
I don't disagree with any of that.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that.
When does it come out for regular folks?
But that's the problem.
Huge problem.
So the movie itself, I'm going to see it today, right? The embargo lifts on it tomorrow. It comes out like tonight, I think, or tomorrow morning or something. It comes out like
Thursday, tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So
and I was not invited.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's like, so that to me that's a big uh-oh. And look, the Marvels again came out, the embargo dropped on it like 2 days beforehand. People are like, uh-oh, this drops like the day of, or that's
You think
that's a
they
mistake.
don't have confidence in the movie?
They don't have any confidence in this movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think that from what I heard it's not good. I heard it's not good.
Then it won't do well. Then it won't make it. Then it won't make a profit. I haven't heard.
You're just saying whether if it turns out to be good, it's got a shot.
I really thought so.
Right.
I really thought that if this was as good, if people liked this as much as they liked the first one, I don't think it would do $1 billion, but I do think it would turn 650, 700.
What is it going up against?
Wonka's out right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do think this is going to help Wonka. I think this movie is going to help Wonka.
Just getting more people to the theaters.
Because people like to go to the movies during Christmas time.
Right now is a good time to. LA Unified's out of school, I know.
Yeah.
So there's people are starting their. I think they're wrapping up on Christmas. They need a break to go. I think that Aquaman just barely makes the money. That's my Brett Sheridan.
You think
prediction.
it's going to make around 600 to 700 million worldwide?
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna take that long shot just because it is people are bored and they're with their families and they might go see some movies.
I also think that and the reason why I think that it is relevant for some websites to bring up the Marvels is because they're all part of the superhero comic book genre, and right now that genre is struggling
majorly, especially when it comes to the big tent poles.
Yes, and so it's struggling. So I think that people are kind of that the casual fan is kind of over it. So I think that unless you have a big movie that people are, like you said, talking about and raving about and excited about, I don't think it's got a shot.
Aquaman's very bro-y. That might help it a little bit. Like Brett said, the December time period, like this is when people really do go to the movies and decide at the movies which one they're going to see. They might just see the Aquaman and think, oh yeah, I liked that first one 5 years ago. I think that if it has a shot, putting it out in December is the best chance it has. What were the other ones that they mentioned?
That's a Christmas. Color Purple.
Which you liked.
I liked Color Purple. I loved American Fiction, which I'm so glad it's doing well on its limited release. It's one of my favorite movies of the year.
There's Candy Cane Lane.
Yeah, that's on Amazon, right? Did you watch it?
No, I just.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah,
it's not getting theatrical release?
Candy Cane Lane, I don't think so.
Oh, it's a real movie?
Yeah. No, it really is. It's Eddie Murphy's
It's Eddie
movie.
Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understood why you would think that was BS, but no, it's a real movie, and people seem to enjoy it. I haven't watched it yet. It was one of the movies I'm going to watch during the Christmas break. But American Fiction, Color Purple were the ones. And Iron Claw.
And the Glenn Powell movie.
Right, which is romantic comedy. Like, that goes back to our conversation that we had last week. That's a movie.
Oh boy, don't get this started again.
I know, but that's a movie that I think there's a reason it's tracking for like 7 million opening weekend is because that's another movie. Depending on how much it costs, I mean, I can't imagine the budget was too big. I bet you that movie cost $25 million to make.
What was it called? Anyone But You?
Anyone But You, I think it's called. And if that movie cost 25 to 30, I understand taking the risk of putting in anything over, silly, and should have stuck to streaming.
Their budget was $25 million.
Okay.
Their press was so great. Their press tour was amazing. Their press tour is going to end up with both of them being single, I think, but their press tour was unbelievable to watch.
$25 million on
I hope
that
not.
with that. Why would you say something like that? Is this too flirty?
Everybody is just shipping them so hard.
Who's everybody?
Yeah, who's everybody?
Like the entire internet, all of TikTok. I mean, they have like unbelievable chemistry.
What's the
That's what you're
internet?
supposed to do. Yes, I'm the combative one. That's what you're supposed to do when you're doing press. You're supposed to sell your goddamn
Yes,
movie.
of
You know,
course.
you guys remember when Ashton Kutcher and Reese Witherspoon did that movie last year together, and everybody was making fun of them on the carpet because they had zero chemistry. They wouldn't even hold hands. They wouldn't talk, and everybody was like, "What the fuck?" And Mila Kunis made fun of them too about it. It's like I get it, but it's got to be hard when you are in a relationship
course.
and everybody wants you with your co-star.
Yeah.
Like it's like Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That one.
It's like that.
I started
all over.
watching Maestro last night.
How is it? I don't watch
So
it.
far, so good. Yeah, I'm only about 45 minutes in, but like the people are, what? How do you do that? Because I have kids and I go to bed early. But I've watched so many movies over the last week. I saw Anatomy of a Fall. Did you see that yet?
No, it's on everybody's top 10 list.
It's really, really good. It's
Good.
really good. And then, but the Iron Claw, which is the other one that they mentioned, I'm hoping that movie does great. And it's a bummer that Zac Efron is not getting the love that
He's excellent in it.
He's excellent in it. He's not getting the love. But you haven't heard this yet, and I'm going to say it. So it hasn't aired yet. So probably it'll air here first. Because I just did my end of the year show with Roka and Merle. And I know that we talked about it maybe through a live stream with Roka the other day. Last week, for a while, we talked about Yorgos' new movie, Poor Things. And I said, I can't do it. I'm watching 10, 15 minutes. I'm going to go back into it. It's one of my favorites of the year.
Really?
Yeah. It is.
I love him. I haven't watched it.
He called me
Yeah.
to tell me about it. He doesn't
cute.
really usually.
Not for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so when the movie itself, as I said, I was going to revisit it, went back to it. 15 minutes, I was like, this is like an Edward Scissorhands kind of wannabe thing, but it's shot very well, and I'll keep watching it. She's as phenomenal as everybody says she is. But then Ruffalo shows up, and the whole movie just turns, and
I'll do it.
it's if you like his other stuff,
Yeah.
you'll love it. And Ruffalo should, you know how much I love Downey and Oppenheimer. If Ruffalo wins, I'm not going to complain.
Okay.
Ruffalo's so
Did you get
good.
new glasses?
I've had a bunch of different new glasses. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah. Thanks.
I watched what's the Jennifer Lawrence movie?
No Hard Feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, watched that with my grandparents.
How did that scene go with
Hysterical. I was just like, I did this to myself. It was the only scene I knew was in the movie. Why did I suggest we watch it?
She really did that too, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. As she, I mean,
Do you think she was wearing a merkin? That's the question.
She says nothing. She says she was all
it's the smartest thing that she could do. I think that
a
like
nude fight on the beach.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, like the world really fucked her over and took complete control over
I
her
see what you
body,
mean. Right,
and
right,
she
right,
was
right,
like,
right.
"I want to do this." There's no way the movie wanted her to do that. She wanted to do that, as she should. So
So can you give some clarification to people who don't know what we're talking about?
yeah, she was completely violated, and her photos were leaked all over the internet. And
that's right,
so whether she wants to or not, anybody who wants to see her body is able to. And so she did this movie. Now, if you want to see her body, you're not going to look for motherfucker's photo or leak of her.
Yeah.
You're going to look at the movie that she decided to do.
No, it's a
I
good
actually
point.
thought that it was like totally baller of her, especially because of the actual scene. It's so funny and
Yeah.
ridiculous, and so clearly like shoehorned into this movie where it didn't need to be
No.
like that.
No.
And she was just like, "Fuck you guys! Like, if you want to see my body, this is my whole fucking body."
It was a great scene
Yeah, it
in
was
a way
great.
because it was funny and it did play to where it added to her character.
For sure.
Yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
ballsy and awesome. I love her. I think she's stellar. But I actually like the movie. Grammy's commentary afterwards was, that movie was really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of. It was a little weird. It's quirky. I liked it.
It changed I was worried about it because the first 15 minutes, I'm like, this is not the type of comedy that she can do, because it was like this kind of bizarre, like over the top romantic. Someone who really needed like a comedian, and she's not a comedian. She has comedic like abilities, but she's not a comedian. And then it actually focused in on her strengths with character, and more. Then the kid was great, and more heart. And
the kid was awesome.
And once they actually gave the story a heart and stopped trying to go for the bits. You know who I didn't like in that movie? You want to take a guess?
I'm trying to think of who else is in it besides the two.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, that's my point.
Friends?
Her friends, the husband, terribly miscast.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Terribly miscast. They tried to get him to do like his jokes. He would have like Chris Pratt before he was, famous. That would have been a perfect role for him.
Yeah, it didn't really pull me out because they're barely in it.
They're barely in it, but it just didn't add anything.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Interesting. I think it's definitely worth a watch. I know that I'm late on that one, but I thought that it was really fun.
There's a few movies out there right now, and some of these that we just talked about for the holiday season.
You just got so overwhelmed in the middle of your sentence.
There's just a lot of it. There's just a lot going on, and it's especially with Aquaman coming out. What do you guys think? What do you think that it's got a shot to make some money? Do you think it's going to do well? Do you think that the superhero fatigue has really damaged the opportunity for it to do well? Can Jason Momoa, can James Wan make this thing work? What say you guys? And before we go on to our next topic, I do want to tell you guys both about AG1 and Rocket Money. Here we go. I always get excited when I get a chance to talk about AG1. You guys know, if you've been listening to this show long enough, you know that I've been talking about them. I've been drinking them now for, it's got to be at least 2 years. I started drinking AG1. I think Brett Sheridan told me about it. I said, you can't mess around with this, man. You got to try it. And I did. And it's a foundational nutritional supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health. I've heard so many different people now talking about it since we've been talking about it on this show and how much AG1 has helped them. I talk to you guys, a lot of you guys, when we talk to do my one-on-one sessions that I do with people that go, yeah, I started doing AG1 and I love it. It gives me the energy that I need. Parents, I found new parents love this stuff. But everybody loves it. And not only for me did I replace my multivitamin with AG1, because I was never the multivitamin guy. I would try it, and I was like, everyone's telling me, you got to do multivitamins, and I can't do that many vitamins. One scoop. I put it in a water bottle. I put it in a zoo cup. I shake it up. I'm good to go. I recommended AG1 to everybody, my friends, my family, you guys, and it's worked out. It's great. I get energy. I get a pep in my step. I love AG1, and you guys know how long I've been talking about it. People still they'll tweet and they'll X, whatever they X me, and they say, "Hey, AG1, you've been talking about it forever. I'm trying it today," and they never go back. AG1 is the supplement that I trust to provide the support that my body needs daily, and that's why they've been a partner for a long time now. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3, K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase. But you have to go to drinkag1.com/bigthing. drinkag1.com/bigthing. Check it out. Hey, Rocket Money. How much do you guys think that you're paying a month on subscriptions? Yeah, that's what I thought. Most people think they're $80, $82. You're right. You're paying closer to around $200. And that is why I use Rocket Money. What is Rocket Money, Kristian? Thank you for asking. I'm going to tell you, me. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that finds and cancels your unwanted subscriptions. It monitors your spending, and it helps you lower your bills. And it's all in one place. It has over 5 million users and counting. Rocket Money has helped save its customers an average of $720 a year and $1 billion in total savings so far. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and manage your money the easy way. Go to rocketmoney.com/thing. That's rocketmoney.com/thing. rocketmoney.com/thing. All right, thank you to our friends over at both Rocket Money and AG1. I wanted to thank you guys. I'm getting a lot of DMs recently. People were like, hey, look, I know you said it helps out the show, and look what I got. And they send me pictures of things I get in AG1. I just signed up to Rocket Money. And it helps so much, and I really appreciate it. And the other thing I wanted to do, and I would be mad at myself if I didn't do this today, I wanted to thank both First Rate Nate, who I already thanked before, but I also want to thank Ali Batwan, who was both of them. We have our Amazon gift list that you can see there too, and there's a few things left inside of the list, but Ali got us this monitor that I'm looking at. This lens. There's things that we had on there that we were just eventually going to get for the studio and for Christmas. And I just wanted to thank you guys both for doing that. Anybody who got that list, and it has absolutely helped out the studio. And like I said, there are things there. People are like, hey, for Christmas time, can we get you something? It's like, we have this list. So the list is there, and we thank you. And thank you to both First Rate Nate and to Ali. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's move on.
How are you taking support for your new computer, which is going to be, I'm going to guess, $5,000.
Well, that one I'm just going into debt.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Streamlabs.com.
Yeah, no, going into debt on that one. We had to get a new computer. So for people who don't know, we just had so many computer problems. It was one of the reasons that we made that Amazon list. But like Brett came over yesterday, and we were going over some stuff for putting together this monitor, and even the monitor, this computer. You see how it's like, it looks really good, right? But it's like that. It's more of the square. It should be the whole entire screen. But this computer doesn't have the capacity to do it. So
And don't let the look of that new lens blame it. Don't blame it on the lens. That's my adjusting of trying to get it.
Right.
That's what I think that text you showed me wasn't saying what, because that's what it was after I did.
I'm so lost, bro. Tell me what you're saying.
That shot looks really blown out and weird. The wide for some reason. Yeah, don't you think?
no, I like it.
All right, screw it.
I don't know. People will tell us otherwise.
Except for my oompa loompa doopity doo.
Yeah. Well, that
If you are wise,
you'll be Hugh Grant too.
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah, and then this is the other thing.
Him doing press
Wow.
is hysterical. Yeah, just keep it on me. I'm the star of the show. Roxy Stryer is ready to go.
Nice.
Hugh Grant is doing press, and it is not very impressive. Because he is orange Oompa Loompa. I am also Poompa Schmoompa. And the way my skin looks right now,
Roxy,
it's like...
Roxy.
Oh man.
Stop your
Stealing
demi
my
tracks.
spotlight, Roxy. My name is Big Balls, and I'm here for Roxanne. I'll tell you what, she looks really tame. I'll run around, I'll throw around, I'll show you my balls. That's right. You ever listen to Lou Rawls? All right, hit me, baby.
Who's Lou Rawls?
Lou Rawls. You know who Lou Rawls is?
Lou
Brett,
Rawls.
Brett, you know who Lou Rawls
Yeah.
is, right?
Who's Lou Rawls?
A singer.
Oh.
Okay, great.
Real sexy singer.
See, this is how you know, though. So I don't spray tan or anything. My hands look orange, too.
All right, here we go. So
Who are these assholes?
Perfect. Percy Jackson. Percy Jackson, very, very popular series, especially in my house. I'll tell you that. My oldest loves Percy Jackson, but the movies did not go off in the way that they would have probably hoped them to, because the fans did not like them. Even the author was like, that's not what I wrote. Well, things have changed, because now the series is coming out, and it's getting great reviews here, guys. Following very good early critical reviews, Disney Plus has opted to launch this TV series adaptation of Rick Riordan's Percy Jackson and the Olympians novels a few hours early. And the first 2 episodes are now available on the service. 34 reviews so far, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, where only one of the reviews is negative. And Metacritic sits at a 74 out of 100. Both are far above the widely panned prior film adaptation starring Logan Lerman in the title role. Walker Scobell takes over the Percy role for this new take, and Lerman recently surprised Scobell and the rest of the new cast by sending over his blessing during a live recording of the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast with Josh Harwitz, saying in his message, "The show looks amazing. I can't wait to see you all crush it in your roles. You're making a lot of people happy bringing these characters to life. I can't imagine a better fit for Percy Jackson than Walker. You were so brilliant in the Adam Project. I hope you like eating blue food for the next few years. I think you have a hit show on your hands." Prior film adaptations did decent box office, but suffered from major behind-the-scenes dramas, with Riordan very vocal in his displeasure with them. As for whether this show will get a second season, executive producer John Steinberg suggested Deadline that there had already been discussions about moving it forward. I think everyone has a real hope that this will live a long and healthy life. Right now, we're trying to deal with step 1, but we'd be lying if we said that there weren't people who are already thinking about step 2. Okay, so this is exciting for me because, like I said, my oldest loves this show. So
What's the? I know not one thing other than Logan Lerman started. Is this like Harry Potter?
it's got a Harry Potter feel to it, but instead of he's essentially a kid in New York that finds out that he's kind of like a child of one of the gods, and his father, of course, is Poseidon.
Oh yeah,
right.
Obviously,
The water god?
The water god,
Yeah,
exactly. So Poseidon is his father, and he has to go to the Camp Half-Blood, and there he meets some other. He basically just starts to discover the world. Yeah, nearly wells. He starts to discover the world is not what he thinks it is, and so there's like three movies or two movies, I can't remember.
So it was books to movies. The people loved the books. The movies did okay, but people didn't love them, including
First one
the
did
author.
okay. Second one didn't do very well. Author did not like them. Fans did not like them. And it's funny because my daughter, when she saw them when she was very young, was like, okay, this is just cool to watch it. And then as she started to read the books more and more and get more into the lore, she's like, this is terrible. This is not what it is. Even this morning, she was telling me, she's like, I can't wait to see the series because Rick Riordan is he's involved in it. And she's like, I want to see like an actual adaptation. She's read all the books.
That's how I felt about Stuart Little.
Oh, really? Okay, when you were younger?
Yeah, and then I remember watching it and then reading it and being like, the book is so much better. And
The book ends on a downer, though, doesn't it?
of Stuart Little? Yeah.
It does.
murder suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember.
You're not far
Little
off.
takes on
Okay, so she's excited about the show.
Very much so. And it seems like a lot of the fans are excited about it. And
This is the dumbest question, Christian, but how does she know about the show? Like, do you tell her? Does she see commercials for it? How do kids know anymore?
well, I think it's a mixture of both. I mean, again, remember she's 12 now, so she
Right.
watches stuff will pop up in the same way that like if you're watching something on YouTube, the algorithm will know like, oh, hey, we think you like this. Look at this ad from Disney Plus about this new series. So that's that. And then she'll see banners for it and she'll hear things about it. But yeah, I've told her about it when they first started casting and saying. I told her about it because I knew how much she was into it. So she's been keeping up on it. And then every year she goes to this for summer. She goes to the Half-Blood camp. So they talk about it all the time there too.
Yeah.
So
That seems like right out of Harry Potter,
yeah, it's got
the Half-Blood thing.
Sure.
Oh no, those are called mudbloods. It's different.
Yeah.
Isn't he the
They have
Half-Blood
a
prince?
Half-Blood thing too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's different.
That's different.
That's different.
Brett. But before we move on, we have another story. Brett watched a movie last night. I think it was called. What was it called? The Seven Saps with the green stick. What was that?
Yeah, talk about a downer,
Yeah.
man. This is another A24 one. That
Oh, it's
came
not a
out.
comedy.
No,
Oh, wow,
no.
that was a comedy.
The Seven Saps with the green stick.
Yeah, that was the one that you saw.
You find out what the green stick is or no?
It's one of these open endings that I hate. I hate where they leave it, but I'm guessing this was basically just a setup for the second film.
Right.
But very depressing and talk about like Stuart Little being depressing. This one was so dark.
Who stars in it?
Logan Lerman for as we brought up before.
Yeah, right.
Is he one of the saps?
He's one of the saps. You have
Who plays the green stick?
the
Is
queen.
it Pauly Shore?
The green stick is Pauly Shore,
Right.
which actually, as far as everything goes, I'm saying Pauly's back, baby.
Pauly's back.
Oh
Whoa.
man,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So you would recommend this one?
I recommend it. It's only on Hoopla.
Oh, okay.
You can get it,
back
but
on
that's
Hoopla.
free with with the library card. So if
I just keep the controversy on the boxing kangaroo. What happens in this?
well, because the kangaroo was fully nude.
Oh.
Which is weird.
Cock
but,
out?
Yeah, but PETA's getting all up in arms about it. Like you should clothe these animals,
Right,
but
no
I mean
cock
that's
out.
not natural. No cock out.
Is the cock under the pouch?
Well, no, the pouches are the females, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah. It's called. What's the hashtag?
Hashtag Kango cock.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. It wasn't the original. I think that was the original title of the film. So if you want to see Kango Cock or whether it's what Green Stick now, go and check that out.
Seven
outside.
Saps in the Green City.
Sorry, it's streaming on Hoopla. All right. Before we move to our last story today, because like I said, it's gonna be a short thing today. We got another. I want to also tell you guys about DraftKings Casino. Unwrap the first of many presents this season with holidays on the house from DraftKings Casino. With hundreds of games, prizes, promos, DraftKings Casino has everything on your list. Right now, new players who play $5 get $100 instantly in casino credits. What are you waiting for? Cozy up with all the classics like slots, blackjacks, roulette, or play exclusive games that you're only going to find at DraftKings Casino to feel the holiday cheer all along. Download the DraftKings Casino app now and sign up with the promo Big Thing. Use that code Big Thing and play $5 to get $100 in casino credits. That is promo code Big Thing only at DraftKings Casino. The crown is yours. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly, 21 and up. Physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, West Virginia only. Void in Ontario. One per opt-in new customer. Minimum $5 deposit. Max match 500 in casino credits, which require one-time playthrough within 7 days. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/player's choice for eligibility, terms, and responsible gaming resources. All right, thank you to DraftKings Casino. Again, if you're able to and you want to go check it out, go ahead and do so. It helps out the show tremendously. You get yourself a good deal.
That's smart of them.
What's that?
DraftKings Casino. That's just smart of them. It's like DraftKings is on top of it always.
Yeah. And so how'd you feel about this? I probably felt like I did with the Giants and Patriots, although we found Tommy DeVito.
What do you mean I felt the same that you did?
Yeah, that's true. Probably not the same. For the beginning of the season.
This is horrible.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day.
No.
I mean, we win when we need to lose. We lose when we need to win.
Right.
Next year, I'm scared shitless about. I have
Well, it's your own fault.
I don't feel that way.
I do.
Why do you feel it's my own fault?
Because it's the Patriots.
Oh.
You want to follow the Patriots? That's what you get.
Oh, I guess that is my fault.
Right.
Wow.
Is that good logic?
It's so much more fun to. This is why it's important to be a Celtics Patriots fan. I like the Sox. I like the Bruins, but I have two teams that I really follow. So thank goodness for the Celtics. Because otherwise, right now I would just be ripping my eyelashes out.
Well, the rest of you guys, I don't know if you can feel that pain or not, but if you do, let her know how you feel. Okay, Zack Snyder says that his R-rated director's cut of Rebel Moon is almost a completely different movie. Some comic book movie, Mark Cassidy, says it sounds like the extended cut of Rebel Moon is going to be a very different to the version that is going to be airing on Netflix this Friday. There's a lot of excitement for the first part of Zack Snyder's Star Wars-inspired sci-fi adventure, even though critics have not been overly kind to the divisive director's last project. One of the biggest complaints seems to be that the first movie is being edited down for its 2-hour, 15-minute streaming debut and has resulted in disjointed and borderline incomprehensible third act with noticeable cuts allowing for its PG-13 rating. An R-rated extended version is on its way at some point. However, according to Snyder, it's going to be completely different. He said it's not an extended cut of the movie. He tells the Associated Press, it's almost like a different movie. It's almost a different universe that the R-rated cut lives in than that movie. The reason for that is because it is such a philosophical thing to shoot a director's cut of a movie before you finish this version. All of my director cuts exist as a response to the things that were demanded of me to take out of the theatrical version. With Rebel Moon, that demand was never made. We knew that it was going to be a PG-13 movie. In my heart of hearts, I always wanted it to be R, but you realize this sort of scale and cost of a movie, say, well, it's not 100% responsible to have that demand. Many have wondered why Snyder didn't simply release his preferred version of the movie in the first place, but Netflix clearly wanted to release this first cut to reach as many people as possible. I'm a good partner in that sense, Snyder said. It was Netflix's idea. They're like, what if we said, do whatever you want over here, do the PG-13 version, then go nuts on the other one? We don't care. That was the thing I've never experienced before. That's when the dimensional rift happened between the two versions when that was said out loud. It is now like almost like a marketing thing for him to have a director's cut.
Yeah.
Like every time. And
like M. Night does twists.
Yes.
And Snyder does director's cuts.
But it's like, I understand the answer that he gives when they're like, well, they didn't say we have to do this one so you can't get this and we're going to have to do like a hashtag thing and get your own cut. Like you're getting your own cut and you can release it, but we just want to make sure that we get to the PG-13 people first. If you know that your best version is not this, you don't put it out, especially if you don't have to.
No.
On Netflix, you've that fight, you go, let's put the R-rated one out first see how it does, and
How
then
does-
put the PG-13 out.
How does Netflix even work with PG-13 versus R? Is there parental restriction?
Yeah.
So that's
Mature
they
or-
were worried that less people would watch it that
I
way.
think so because they want to get more of the, I guess that's another great question. It's that the TVMA of it all, but it's
Would it even get less viewership? The biggest thing that has come back to bite me, I'm not even effing with you, is that one Collider Live clip that people shove down my throat every second they get, where I say the Snyder Cut does not exist. The Snyder Cut, and they clip it and they put it on repeat and over and over and over again.
I said I don't care, and they went it. That was it.
Okay, so and whether at that point in time it was in its full thing or whether they need to do research, I'll leave up to the people. But here's what I will say about Snyder. It's very clear that everybody loves working with him. Like his actors are obsessed with him. That's a really good sign in a director. I also like a lot of the things he's made. So I think that is he a great visual director? I think he's got some really good chops. This is to me an unfortunate thing because I don't want to have to watch two versions of a movie and decide which one's better and then go to the audience or to Twitter.
Especially if you don't like the first version of it.
No, it's like, and so I would just wait for the R-rated one, the one that he wants us to see. But then even then it's like I think a movie is more than just like the tone of a movie should either be R or PG-13. Not two different versions, right? Because it's not just about
because they said it's a different
the
movie,
right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's not just about swear words and nudity. It's the whole movie is different if it's one great letter versus another.
If I know another version's coming out, like I talked to somebody who said I'm not going to watch this when it comes out, and I said why? He said because I want to wait for the rated R version. I was like, when is it coming out? Like, I don't know. That's the other problem. I don't know.
That's just such a bummer. Like I want everything with him tends to be messy, and I'm not saying that's his fault, but it just is. All the stuff around him is always messy, and that sucks because I just want to watch the movies that he puts out and not have there be this is my cut, this is their cut.
Right.
Netflix wanted to do this, the rating, this thing.
It does take the
different
cut
movie.
down a little because he said it as a good partner, but it did seem like he's like, well, this was Netflix's decision to do this. They wanted to do this PG-13, and I'm a good partner, so I said sure. But it's like I don't want to see two movies because I'm very excited to see this movie. I've been pumped to see this movie. I think original science fiction fantasy is something that's needed, and I love the idea that's based off the Star Wars pitch that he had. So I'm very excited to see it.
I'm with you on that.
I can't wait. But and what I'm hoping for me is that I love the PG-13 version because I'm not going to keep myself away from it. I'm going to want to watch it. That I can't wait to see the rated R.
But it doesn't sound like he likes the PG-13 version.
I know. That's the other problem.
Like
That's
if
the
he
other
was like,
problem.
and they're both great, honestly, it just depends on your taste, your age, whatever. But it doesn't seem like he's riding for this PG-13 version. I'm sure he doesn't like it as much, and then that's an issue. When is this, and do you know anybody who's seen it?
So I do know a few people that have seen it, but Roca hosted a screening of it in San Diego last night, and he texted me and he said that he dug it. He said he dug it. So, and he's usually kind of pretty honest when it comes to this stuff. So, I don't know. I mean, I'll be watching it. I'm gonna watch Percy Jackson. I'm doing a rewatch of Stranger Things with my oldest right now, which has been fun.
That's fun.
Yeah,
That is fun.
It's been fun. So we're watching that together. I'm watching Maestro with my wife, which is also good. I've seen mostly everything that I wanted to see.
Oh my God, I'm missing everything,
Yeah.
Kristian.
Well, there's only like one or two that were nominated for Best Picture in Golden Globe that I haven't seen. So I'm whatever those are, I'm going to catch up on it. So like Maestro was one of them.
Are you watching everything on Screener?
Yes. So yeah. I wanted to get some other topics, but because like I said, I'm going to see Aquaman, I've got to get out of here in order to make it. So I wanted to thank Roxy and Brett. Make sure you check out Brett on Above Board TV. And Brett, can we say who your special guest was yet or not yet?
No,
Okay.
that's coming out later, but yeah.
Okay, Brett had a very cool special guest.
Cool.
So you'll have to see that. Roxy, they can find you.
Everywhere at Roxy Stryer.
That's pretty easy. And make sure you check out Always Lola. You can find that streaming anywhere. So
Kristian loved me in it.
I did love you in it. Stop this. So silly, actresses. All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. I appreciate it. We'll see you on the flip side. Patreon, subscribe to the channel, everything that you can do. And we'll see you next time.